All right then, just when general election fatigue was setting in, this happens.
But I couldn't help, after each exchange, I simply couldn't help feeling that somehow they felt I was letting them down. That I wasn't standing up for these people. People in their millions who've stood with me. So I have decided, I've changed my mind. It's allowed, you know. It's not always a sign of weakness. It could potentially be a sign of strength. So I am going to stand in this election.
He says this is basically a single-issue election.
Nothing in this country works anymore. The health service doesn't work. The roads don't work. None of our public services are up to scratch. 2.4 million people this Conservative government have allowed to settle in the UK in the course of the last 2 years. That this is the immigration election. Well, it is. We have to build a new house every 2 minutes just to accommodate those that are legally coming in to Britain.
So the question is, who do you trust, really? On legal immigration, Reform want to hit net zero, so one in, one out. They also want to introduce an immigration tax on businesses. Firms would pay a higher 20% rate of national insurance for foreign workers, up from the current 13.8%. Look, it is fair to say this has been described as unworkable in practice. On illegal migration, they said they'd turn the boats around in the Channel. Well, the Labour Party is promising to reduce immigration.
Well, immigration is a sort of record high under this government, a complete failure. We need to bring it down. Underpinning the number is the fact that we haven't got the skills in this country that we need. So we need to fix the skills strategy. But we've also got to come down on bad bosses. And so we want to ban bad bosses from recruiting from abroad. So we'll have a single enforcement agency going into premises. If there's a breach of labour market rules, then that means, I'm afraid, for that company, for that business, you're not going to get a licence to bring people in from another country. So skills agenda, but also bearing down on those bad bosses. We're going to ban them from bringing people in.
Certainly embracing health and safety culture there, wasn't he? But on legal migration, they say that they'll ban employers and agencies that break employment law from hiring overseas workers. They say they want to reduce reliance on foreign workers and reform the points-based system. Although it must be said there is little to no detail yet on what that means. And Yvette Cooper, Shadow Home Secretary, is refusing to put a number on what she wants net migration to be.
Well, again, and I understand the question, and I know that you're effectively trying to suggest I set a target or a broad target. I'm not going to do that. We are going to be clear. Net migration must come down. We believe it's really important, and what Keir has set out is commitments that we will bring net migration down.
On illegal immigration, Labour are pledging more Home Office staff to clear the backlog, establish a new border security command to prosecute trafficking gangs and work more closely with the EU. However, scepticism has been raised due to this picture of Yvette Cooper with a sign saying refugees welcome, and Sir Keir Starmer winning a legal battle to ensure dubious asylum seekers have better access to taxpayer-funded benefits. The Conservatives, on the other hand,
a plan to stop the boats, legal migration coming down, that's what we offer. Keir Starmer doesn't believe in any of those things, and that's a choice that people should consider.
On legal immigration, they changed the rules for who qualifies for the skilled worker visa in April, with the minimum salary threshold rising substantially to £38,700, or the going rate for that role, whichever is higher. Social care workers are also no longer allowed to bring dependents on their visa. A list of jobs for which someone can be sponsored with a reduced minimum salary has been made shorter, and the minimum income to sponsor someone for a spouse or partner visa has risen from 18.5 grand to 29 grand. The scepticism here is pretty obvious. They've also been responsible for record levels of net migration, haven't they? On illegal immigration, everybody knows that Rwanda is their big deterrent. The illegal immigration bill should also mean that anybody who has entered Britain illegally recently will never be considered for asylum. Again, the problem here is credibility. Will Rwanda happen? Will people actually be deported? If this is the immigration election, who do you trust?